Hello, Squidlings. I've turned in my thesis proposal here at OIST. It's not my thesis, it's my thesis proposal. Eventually, I get to defend my thesis, and eventually, maybe I'll be a doctor or something. I'm also working on a paper for a journal called Neural Computation. I think that paper looks pretty good, but I don't want to be overworked. So I think this month's video, I want to share a joke. I first read this joke on Reddit. Oh, I read it on Reddit. Oh, what do you know? It was funny when I read it on Reddit, but it's a joke which just does not work in text form. You know, you gotta say it and you gotta act it out. So, how about a joke? This joke, I call it the third guy. So, there are three guys walking along a beach, and well, what do you know? The waves just carry up a mysterious lamp. So the three guys, they pick up the lamp, they wash the lamp a bit, and poof, a genie comes out. Classic joke format. And the genie says, all right, guys, there are three of you. You're each going to get 3 wishes. That's a total of 9 wishes. That's a lot of wishes. So the three guys, they meet up, and one of them says, we can't go overboard on these wishes. You know, maybe the genie's going to play some tricks on us based on what we wish for. You can't, and besides, if we just got so much that we couldn't actually use it all, then we're wasting. Don't go overboard on these wishes. But then the second guy says, are you serious? We're getting wishes. You know, the sky's the limit, you know, get what you want. And the third guy says, oh, no guys, I know what I'm doing. I got a plan. So the first guy goes to the genie. I wish for $1 million. And the genie says, poof, there you go, $1 million. And the guy, his phone vibrates, he looks at it, he's got a notification from his bank, he just got $1 million. And so the second guy says, $1 million? Come on. I wish for $1 billion. And the genie says, all right, poof. And the guy, his phone vibrates, and he's getting a call from the CEO of the bank, and he says, hey, you just got $1 billion. That's a lot of money. And so the third guy tells the genie, all right, I wish that my left arm was constantly moving in this format. So I believe it's clockwise. So always clockwise. Even if I'm asleep, always clockwise. And the genie says, okay, and poof, the third guy, his arm, it's going around clockwise too. So the first guy goes up to the genie and he says, I wish I had a mansion. And the genie says, okay, poof, you got a mansion. And poof, there's the mansion right next to the beach too. So that's a real estate opportunity right there. And the second guy says, one mansion? I want a mansion which is twice that size of that mansion. And I want one of those in every United State. And I want one of those in every country on Earth, even Antarctica. And the genie says, poof, there you go. Like he checks Google Maps, and Google Maps, it's showing him all the mansions that he's got. He has so many mansions now, like hundreds of mansions. And the third guy says, all right, genie, I want my right arm to be constantly moving in the opposite direction. Always. And the genie says, well, okay, poof, and well, what do you know? The third guy, his arms are moving in opposite directions forever. So the first guy goes to the genie and he says, Mr. Genie, I wish I had a beautiful, intelligent wife. And the genie says, poof, there you go. And a woman appears, and she's beautiful, and she's brilliant, and she's got a wedding ring on, and the guy looks at his own hand, he has a wedding ring too. He's got a wife, a beautiful, intelligent wife. And the second guy says, one wife? Come on, man. I want a harem. In every one of my mansions across the globe, I want a harem of at least 10 women. And the genie says, poof. And now the second guy, he has like 10 wedding rings on every one of his fingers, and it's not nearly enough to reflect the number of wives in all of his harems across the globe. So the third guy, says, all right, genie, I want my head to be constantly moving left to right like this. Never stopping, just like my arms. And Genie says, okay, poof, and well, what do you know? The third guy, his arms are moving, his head's moving, he's got all this stuff going on. Gosh, I'm dizzy. So the three guys, they separate, they go about their own ways of life, and they don't meet for, I think, 20 years. Let's say 20 years pass. And now, the three men, they just happen to meet at a bar, and well, the first guy tells the second guy, you know, I think you were right. I should have wished bigger. You know, I spent my $1 million. It's a nice mansion. I love my wife, but I don't know. I feel like I could have so much more. And the second guy, he says, no, man. I wished way too big. You were right. $1 billion. That's done terrible things to the economy. You know, me having all that money. I have so many mansions. I haven't even been able to go to all the mansions. I've only visited like 5 mansions, and my harems. Most of those women have just divorced me because I don't even know their names. And then the third guy says, guys, I think I fucked up. Oh man, that's such a dumb joke. It's such a stupid joke, but just saying now the third guy and then starting the wild movements, it's so worth it. I think when I tell that joke, people either burst out laughing or they just look at me like, dude, what's wrong with you? But even the people who don't laugh at that joke, at least they laugh whenever I say, all right, and the third guy, and I want like a TV show about this third guy, you know? I like the first episode just opens with like a blind date. Like one of the other two guys, the first guy or the second guy, sets up the third guy with this blind date. And the camera just starts on her side of the table and she's really awkward looking and she says, so what's up with your arms? And the third guy says, what do you mean? Or it's like maybe episode 2, it opens with a job interview. Maybe he's trying a job interview at one of the second guy's businesses, and the guy who's looking at his resume says, what's your biggest weakness? And the third guy just says, you know, sometimes I think people are intimidated by my intelligence. Gosh, you know, if you find people who react really well to that joke, then suddenly you have something which can get them to laugh at any moment. Because weeks, maybe a year from now, if you just make eye contact with that person for a moment, and if you don't have anything else to say, you can just say, and the third guy, and then suddenly everyone around who knows what you're talking about is laughing. All right. So in other news, when my dad died, you know, and it's one of the things I talk about on this channel sometimes. When my dad died, he had a website, and that website, it went down pretty soon after he died. So I want to bring that website back. I think his friends, obviously, my dad's friends loved my dad, but they loved his website too. And I think it's a shame that his friends can't go to my dad's website anymore. My dad collected 78 records, like old records that go around in a circle 78 times a minute. Um, and so there are a lot of sort of old country songs, cowboy style country songs, folk music. So I think like 2 years ago, my dad died about 4 years ago, and about 2 years ago, my mom and I made a hard drive copy of my dad's hard drive, like his computer's hard drive, not my dad's hard drive, his computer's hard drive. And then we sent that hard drive to my uncle because he's another computer expert kind of guy, and we thought maybe he could poke around there and find files related to this website, and maybe he could get the website back up. You know. But in hindsight, we felt like that was kind of a cruel thing to do to my uncle. I mean, my uncle, he's kind of a busy guy, and we were just giving him this emotionally impactful task. Like, by the way, can you get this dead guy's website back up? So anyway, now I think I'm trying to hire someone. I've hired someone, and we're gonna mail them a copy of that hard drive. And if we do manage to get my dad's website back up, maybe I'll make a video about that, because I've never actually been on my dad's website. I remember he was always playing the fiddle. He was always playing folk music on his record player. But I think going on his website for the first time might give me some memories. You know, that's what it's all about. Maybe that's the reason I'm giving these completely different topics on this one video. There's a funny joke that I've remembered for ages now, and then my dad, his website of records is related to memories of him. No, actually, now that I think about it, these topics are completely unrelated. But okay. Anyway, I'll see you around. Goodbye. By the way, I've got a Patreon at patreon.com/Thinkster. I want to thank all these squidlings and elder squids. Thanks. That beautiful whisper